tonight's meeting to order. Lisa, roll call, please.
Mrs. Flippa,
Here.
Miss Burnett, Miss Lynch,
Here.
Mr. Merritt,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Prather,
Here.
Mr. Rose,
Here.
Mr. Schreck,
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Okay, stand to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make note of executive session, August 24th, 2020 for personnel reasons, and September 21st, 2020 for contract negotiations and personnel. At this time, are there any public comments regarding tonight's agenda?
Yeah, I do have a comment.
Regarding tonight's agenda, Lee?
I do. I'm on the agenda. I
No.
requested my time in front of the board.
Yeah, at the end of the meeting, the public can come forward.
Well, one of the things on the agenda is the civil rights policy, right?
Pardon me? If there's something regarding tonight's, if there's something regarding tonight's agenda, you can speak now, otherwise at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, that.
There's an agenda out front at the front table.
I just want to clarify, Lee, you are on the agenda, but it's after the meeting, so I want to clarify.
But I would like my time in front of the camera, in front of the board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
that's on item
Yeah,
10 of this
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify, you are
Thank you so
on
much.
the agenda.
Okay.
Okay. Then we will move on to welcome the new student representatives to the board. And we have Meadville Area Senior High School, Adam Duffy and Tiffany O'Neill. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany O'Neill, and I'm a senior at MASH, and I am a student representative along with Adam Duffy. As far as updates go, students and faculty are trying their best to follow COVID precautions. We can hear him.
Can you hear him, sir? Yes, they can hear him.
You can just speak up a little bit. Okay. Students and faculty are trying their best to follow COVID precautions. We are all wearing masks in classes and hallways. However, we could use more sanitizing stations for hand sanitizers. Activities are being very diligent and doing their best to follow the new protocols. Staff and fellow students are impressed at the peers' willingness to cooperate. Football, boys soccer, and girls volleyball are all finding relative success this year, and school spirit remains high, even in these unprecedented times.
As Tiffany said, my name is Adam Duffy. I'm also a senior at MASH. And to kind of continue with the updates on the activity side at MASH, our music activities have been, doing their best to perform and do different activities under these circumstances. At the football game versus Titusville this past weekend, our marching band performed without our middle schoolers. So that was interesting, but parents, peers, and staff have all been very proud of the students' resiliency and just their willingness to work hard throughout anything. And also, free tutoring services have been created at MASH to, sort of strive for academic excellence in other ways.
In addition to that, Eco People MASH's Environmental Club is working hard to make MASH's campus more sustainable and will hopefully be filling garden beds in the next few weeks to cultivate cold season crops. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we have Ockrington Junior Senior High School, Michelle Decker and Jaden Rodak.
Hi, I'm Jaden Rodak, I'm a sophomore at Ockrington. We have had 2 senior nights so far. Football senior night was good. We had 20 seniors between football, marching band, and cheerleaders. Girls volleyball and cross country senior night also went well. We had 4 seniors between the 2 sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a senior at Crawford. Our football team currently has 0 wins and 3 losses. They play Maplewood at home on Saturday. Our girls volleyball team currently has 4 wins, 3 wins and 1 loss. They play Eisenhower on Tuesday and at Cambridge Springs on Thursday. And our cross country team currently has 3 wins and 1 loss. They race at Maplewood on Tuesday.
The theme for marching band this year is Distorted. They will be performing at MASH on October 17th. We are starting our 3rd year of STEM Academy. We are planning on having a drone competition. All ASL competitions are virtual this year.
Our homecoming week is planned for the week of October 5th to the 9th. We have not come to a final decision on what each day will be for Spirit Week. We're not having a homecoming dance this year, but we are still picking out royalty. We are planning on having the corps go out on the field before the homecoming game like usual.
The senior class is planning the spaghetti dinner. It will only be takeout this year to help stop spread the COVID. NHS will be hosting a blood drive on October 5th. The staff have been following all of the CDC guidelines. There are hand sanitizing stations located all over the building. We converted the auxiliary gym into a lunchroom to help maintain the proper social distancing. And we are practicing Microsoft Teams meetings in all classes to prepare for the shutdown like MAMS is experiencing.
Thank you, Jill. And last but not least, Meadville Area Middle School, Iris Andrecki and Evelyn McClymont.
My name is Evelyn McClymont. I'm an 8th grader at Meadville Area Middle School.
My name is Iris Andrecki. I'm an 8th grader at Meadville Middle School.
Okay. Mr. Lynch and Mr. Fry would like to thank all the students and faculty for a great start to the school year. The students and faculty are currently doing a great job with remote learning, and we are all looking forward to being back in school on Wednesday, October 7th.
Although our cross-country season has had a late start, we only have competed in 1 race so far. It's evident that the runners on the middle school team have great potential for this season and future seasons. Even during this hiatus of practices, the middle school runners have been completing independent workouts at home so they can come back better and faster. With 2 7th grade boys and 4 7th grade girls, 2 of which joined this past week, the team will return with these dedicated and experienced runners next week.
The middle school golf team had a short but successful season. Our team consisted of 6 members, 5 of whom were part of the original men's golf team last year. We competed in 2 matches, finishing the 3rd out of 4 teams in one and taking 1st in the other.
The middle school football team played its first game of the season on October 17th. The Bulldogs defeated the Warren Dragons 42-20. The record is 1-0 in the season, and their next game is Thursday, October 8th at home against Franklin.
The Mams girl basketball team won their first 3 games, then lost the next 2. The girls are staying focused and concentrating on having fun playing basketball. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. We'll now move on to approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following minutes. The regular board meeting of August 24th and the committee of the whole meeting of September 21st, 2020. And I need a motion.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Jeff, thank you. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to committee reports, and first we have the educational technology and with Brian Miller.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves to accept the 2020 Continuity of Education Equity Grant in the amount of $83,515, and I so move.
And I need a second.
Second.
Kevin? Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And finances, Jeff Rose, please.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following financial activities: the Treasurer's Report for August, the financial statement, and the payment of bills, and I so move.
And I need a second.
Second.
Delwood? Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
And separately, from the payment of bills for Girardi's, and I so move.
And I need a second.
Second.
Kevin, thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Motion carries with 7 yeas and 1 abstention.
Next is the approval of the extension of the completion of construction date for the Calamar Senior Housing Project. There's about 8 whereases here that you all can read. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of School Directors of the Crawford Central School District, Crawford County, Pennsylvania as follows. 1, that the school district hereby approves an extension of time to Calamar for the construction of the project in order to qualify for the receipt of tax exemption benefits authorized by the ordinance. Said benefits shall be granted to Calamar provided that improvements in residential construction related to the project are completed by October 7th, 2021. And 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately, and I so move.
And I need a second.
Second.
Kevin, questions or comments?
I'd like to say that this is directly related to delays caused by COVID, and that this shouldn't be interpreted as a precedent to do this sort of thing at all times under all circumstances.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to personnel. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following candidates for election to the Pennsylvania School Boards Association for 2021. President-elect David Hain, Vice President Sabrina Backer, Treasurer Michael Gossard, Western at Large Marcia Pleta, and Insurance Trustee Michael Fencinetto and Mary Ann Neal. And I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I have one comment. It's only one of the 3 most worthless organizations in the state pertaining to education, so my vote is certainly no on all of it.
Any others? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries 7-1. And I'll make note of the first reading of the revisions to the following policies: 103, discrimination, Title IX, sexual harassment affecting students, and 104, discrimination, Title IX, sexual harassment affecting staff, and also first reading to repeal the following policies: 248, harassment of pupils, and 348, harassment of employees. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following personnel schedules: Schedule A, B, C, D, G, H, I, and M, and I need a motion.
So
Jeff,
moved.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Kevin. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So at this point, I will turn it over to Mr. Washington.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I just want to give the board a quick update on the remote learning. It seems the transition has seemed to be going well. Canvas the learning management system has made it smooth for our students to get on and do work. It certainly is a lot smoother than what we experienced in the spring when we went out and didn't have an opportunity. So right now it's going smooth as best as can. There are some glitches to it, here and there. Kids getting used to team, teachers getting used to team, but once they got used to it, they were able to go and get things going. The attendance is pretty decent according to the principal. So I just wanted to give you an update on that as well as to how that's going. Other things around the district, as you can see, given the fact that we're in a pandemic, we're doing the best we can and doing as best we can. Everyone's working hard. Teachers, students, custodial people, food service people, everybody's working extremely hard. But as we know, each day can bring something a little bit different and a little bit different challenge. But I'm proud of what's going on with our teaching staff and our students and the things that we're facing and we're up against. So I just want to give you a quick update on that as well. I also want to give you an update on, if you recall, Tiffany had spoken to the board about the lack of diversity in our curriculum, and so that didn't just go by the wayside. I've met with teachers and department heads, along with curriculum folks and principals. I met with them in June, I met with them in July to talk about the issues that were raised and what we can do about it. We are starting with first looking at the curriculum and what we do offer and what are ways that we can look at enhancing our curriculum right from the start. So I just want to get to some of my notes there. So we started talking about overreaching goals that we would like to look at, breaking down and evaluating our current content options and increasing additional options. Also, some of the other things that we wanted to talk and have a conversation about is reevaluating tracking in our system, and in what ways does the current system of tracking contribute to systemic racism. Book studies to equip professional staff on how to deal with issues, and also increase our community outreach by involving guest speakers. So there's been conversation going on. This month I got a little bit busy that we didn't continue our monthly meeting with that group, but we are looking at ways in which to start looking at how we can address those issues that were brought. And the teachers and the departments were well on board about looking at some of those things. So we have to really kind of dig in and work out some of those things. So I just wanted to give you that update. The other thing I wanted to give the board is that of course, I've spoke to everyone about the 25% capacity at the stadiums. So I wanted to make sure that everybody seems to be on board with that 25% capacity for all facilities. As you know, the stay that the governor had applied for it failed. So therefore, we had to, I don't say had to, was recommended that we move forward with the increasing our capacity, which we did. Our athletic directors already had a plan in place for both indoor and outdoor capacity. So as I explained to you that our capacity, when we look at the stadiums, it's roughly 25%. It's roughly around 325 to 350 seats, depending on which stadium. And then the indoors, because our gym up here is a little bit bigger, it holds a little bit. But the gymnasiums are around 250, given the social distance we have to maintain at the games. And of course, you have to wear masks. That's part of what you have to do in order. So I don't know if that requires a vote, because I just kind of changed the plan. I just put in, I'm going to take out 250 and put 25% capacity of facilities.
Did we vote on it the first time?
Yeah.
We did a long time ago, the sports thing. Right.
I would recommend a vote, frankly. I think in order to revise the plan, which was previously approved by the board,
Okay.
we should go forward with the vote.
So can I have someone make a motion that we can amend the athletic plan to be?
I make a motion that we amend the athletic plan to include 25% of the capacity.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I think I have a lot of questions, but I don't know what they are, so I suppose just vote on it.
Okay.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The curriculum. It's my understanding.
Well, we got a motion on
All right,
this,
all right.
so we can come back to that, Paul.
Go ahead.
So we can come back to that,
Okay.
but, so are there any questions on the capacity question?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Okay, Paula, you had
It's my understanding from teaching in the elementary school that the curriculum in the elementary school has multiculturalism integrated into it pretty significantly, correct?
Yeah, there are stories of diversity in there. Paul, I don't think that's what we're getting at when we talk about just having a story. What we're getting at with the English department in particular, social studies was involved in this, music was there, and multimedia was there as well. But how is it systemically portrayed in our curriculum, right?
Right.
And so, not just inserts. Am I making sense there?
I remember whole system, like the music was integrated, everything was integrated very well in the elementary school. So, and I remember you very quickly put in the hate that we give, right? Didn't we insert that very quickly? What my question is how quickly can we make an impact? Like, is this a 2-year study, or is this like we can do this now?
I think you can put things in now, but you want to make sure you put things in strategically that makes sense.
Right. So are we going to have a group of people who say, yes, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it?
Well, I think the easiest is the English department where we're starting that puts in a lot of literature.
Are we going to have different multicultural people that are going to make those decisions? Or are we just going to have white people making these decisions?
Well, we're going to start with the English department, right?
What's that makeup?
The makeup is one African American, how many? Four teachers? 6 teachers, 1 person of color.
Can we take that into consideration, please, when we make those decisions? That's what I'm saying.
Madam President, I believe that's all I have.
Is that okay? Then we will go to public comment at this time. Lee?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lee McFerrin, born and raised in Meadville. Everything I know is about this town, everything I love and hate is in this town. My only reason for coming today is that I've been on a 2-year sort of journey to get the district, specifically Mr. Washington, Mrs. Burnett, to understand one of your administrators used the N-word 2 years ago in a meeting. I'll leave his name out of it. You all received the note that I wrote. All I'm asking is, admit that the man said it. Admit that he said it, admit that it's wrong. I'm a taxpayer. I own a home. I've been married for 31 years, with my wife for 36 years. I graduated from here, Allegheny College. I have almost a doctorate degree. Had life not gone, right? So to sit in a meeting and to listen to one of your administrators in any facet of the imagination say the N-word is unacceptable. It's even more unacceptable to have Mr. Washington and others try to hide the fact that I brought this to them 2+ years ago. I went to the newspaper. They won't touch the story either. I wonder why. That's all I'm asking. I don't want the guy to lose his job, right? But he needs to come publicly to say he's sorry, to get training, to have a letter written in his file, and to never do this again. If he's saying this in a meeting with 5 people of color, what is he saying when none of us are around? And I'm sorry, but I got a couple of people here tonight, but I will be back. And those of you who know me, sincerely know me, you know I'll be back. So please take care of it so we don't have to have this back and forth much longer. Behind the scenes training means nothing. It means nothing. Imagine this, and I'm done. Imagine right now, me as a black man, in front of all of these white Americans, Caucasians, okay? If I said some foul name about you as people, in any context, would that be acceptable? The answer is no. So why are we saying that it's okay for somebody to say the N-word in front of me in a meeting? Thank you.
other comments? Board comments?
I have a couple. It indirectly affects what Lee has talked about, Mr. Washington. We have taken the basic study of government out of schools, civics, whatever you want to call it, and we've replaced it with some kind of mishmash of nothing, in my opinion, or what boils down to basically replaced it with kids playing on their phones. Of all the times in my lifetime that civics, government, whatever you want to call it, should be studied in our schools, it is now. I mean, we have people shooting at each other. We have people burning basically their own houses down. Lawlessness. People don't want to work. I mean, when I look at around Meadville, and this is Meadville, when there's all these signs, we're hiring, I'm at a total loss. And I sat on this board, and Mr. Washington and the rest of the administration deals with some tripe that I thought might be brought up tonight, and I'd have made even some more comments. When do we just get, Mr. Roa made some remarks in the paper. I full well agree with Jim, he's a friend of mine. Don't we respect each other's views no matter what they are or where they're leading us? Because we have a vote. And instead, we do this other stuff that has no bearing on the kids' education or anything else. So that's all I have.
Anybody else?
I have a comment. Lee, I don't know you, I've never met with you, but the N-word has never been out of my mouth. It's never been out of my children's mouth. It's reprehensible, and it is never, ever okay. Don't take silence from me or from anybody up here as an okay. It's not an okay. What it is it's us listening to the other members and the NAACP people that were in that room with you and getting feedback from people other than you as well. Okay? So I just want to tell you that we took everybody in that room's account. Okay? But it's never okay.
And I wanted to add, not to belabor the point, but there'll be some people who want to make an excuse about the context and the reason the person said the word. I want to reiterate your point. It's never okay.
Okay.
Any other comments? All right, then be it resolved that being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 5:58, 6 o'clock?
58.
58?
Okay, and we do have a short executive session.
And I need a motion.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. And a second? Jeff? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.